Good morning. It's 5:29 a.m., July 19th, 2022. And I have something to share with you that took me a while to accept. But I knew it all along. And I knew it due to the things of my shadow side. So I'm certain you know this as well. So look at this as a confirmation or a reminder. This message is for some of you. I don't know who you are. So those of you assuming I'm speaking to you, please don't. I don't know you. Even if I know you personally, this isn't towards any of you. This is towards the collective, a general, but also a message to the God within you. I know you don't want to hear this, but there are some of you who hold on to false hope because you feel that it would betray who you think and are obligated to be if you give up that false hope and look at people and gods and entities and energies for exactly who they are based on their actions, not your hope for their actions. You can hold on for years, lifetimes even, thinking that a savior will come back just another 1,000 years. Just hold on. Or that things will just get better, or that someone will do something without you having to ask for it because they see you going through something, so they should do something, right? Because you would. But not everybody paints with the same color palette that you paint with. So stop waiting for it. You are not betraying yourself if you feel positive emotions and ignore negative ones. You do not have to suffer just to show people you have a heart. You do not have to let people walk all over you just so people can see that you're nice. It's okay for you to have fangs. It's okay for you to have scales and claws. It's okay for you to wear armor. And it's okay for you to let go. It's also okay for you to know that some people are just assholes and that you're not one of them because of your actions, not because of coulda, woulda, shoulda, or they will eventually. No, they won't. You can hold on for decades saying, oh, there will be a miraculous healing. I have faith in God. But the entire time you're decaying and dying. And then you say it's a test of faith. You can wait for a lover to return or people to make better decisions in your life. or to get that promotion, or to get a job. You can wait for a plant to grow. You can wait for an animal to behave better. You can expect it. You can not expect it. You can hope for it. You can gaslight yourself all day long with it. But the truth is what you're experiencing, isn't it? In some way, you're experiencing what you're experiencing, regardless of how much false hope you throw and sprinkle on the people, places, and gods in your world. The reality is what it is. Now, the only question that you should be asking yourself is, are you going to continue to allow it to perpetuate through your tapestry? Because when I look at the fabric of life, I see knots in it. And these knots are like lingering souls and threads that are waiting and waiting and waiting. And let me tell you from personal experience, it does not matter how much you wait, and it does not matter how much you sacrifice of yourself or you let people take from you. It doesn't matter. You're not like them, and they will never see you like them because they see something else. They don't see how you feel. They don't see how you think. They don't know why you move the way you move, why you breathe the way you breathe, or why your face, your eyes, your lips move the way they do. They don't know what it feels like in your bones, in your blood, in your muscles. They don't know what you dream. They don't know what you fear. They only see what they want to see. So stop expecting them to treat you for who you are, because they will never know who you are. Even if you write books upon books upon books, they will never know. They will decipher every word and break it apart and say, this is what that person meant, when it wasn't at all. You can tell them over and over and over in multiple different languages, multiple different eons, and they still only see and do what they want. And they will gaslight themselves into believing that there's a reason why they're doing it. Are you like that? Are you waiting for a knight in shining armor, or a savior, or a god, or an opportunity, or an apology, or an I love you? Are you waiting to feel better? You can choose to feel better right now. You can force an emotion, but it feels like you're betraying yourself, doesn't it? That's what they conditioned you to feel like, so that you would always stay feeling negative, because they're afraid of you. Or who they think you are. How can you exist? How can you think the way you do? How can you live the way you do? How can you have been through so much and still be sane? How do you still have compassion? How do you still get through the day? They'll make up any reason. So let it be. Feel better. They don't know what you're feeling anyway. They don't know what you're thinking. They see lines on your face and assume you're angry or you're sad, when those could be laugh lines. They see you hunched over or leaning on something and they think you're exhausted from, fighting someone. But in reality, you're just tired and emotionally exhausted and drained. So you're leaning on the wall for a hug. They don't know the difference. So do yourself a favor. Don't make the mistakes I made. Do not let your genetic code be imprinted with the false programming that if you suffer, things will get better. That if you just pray enough, that if you just worship enough, that if you just obey enough, that if you just be quiet enough, if you wait enough, if you're man enough, if you're woman enough, fuck it. You get to choose how you feel. People can instigate those emotions. Experiences can be brought to you that shape and force emotions. But really, it's your choice to feel them for more than 5 seconds. And I know that's harsh, but it's true. And the willpower it requires and the wisdom it requires to feel something so quickly and just to let it go if it's unpleasant is a survival tactic many people need to learn, because some people are holding on to negative emotions like a hot potato and it's burning them. And it's all because of this knot of waiting for people to do better, to be who we see them as they really are, for them to act as godly as we see them. They won't. So stop waiting for it. Take care of yourself. Make yourself happy. Groom your body. Beautify yourself. Exercise because it feels better chemically. It feels better in your body after you exercise, just like it feels better after you drink water or eat some sugar. Even though people say, sugar is terrible, you still feel good after eating something sweet, don't you? So stop denying yourself. Be kind. Grow a garden. Live your simple life. Quit worrying about what they're doing or what they're thinking or if they're going to treat you better. They just won't. And if they do, is it really worth it anymore? I mean, it really wouldn't be, would it? It's like the last unicorn. When the unicorn finally shows up to Molly Grew, and Molly Grew has a meltdown. How dare you come to me now? How dare you? And how dare I accept it? Tell yourself that. Put these people in your life that you're waiting for in a position in front of you mentally, an imaginative state, as if they gave you exactly what you were waiting for them to do, or give you, or behave like, or say. How does it feel? To me, it feels gross. Like, I don't even want to hear it anymore. I don't care if you love me. Now you tell me? Oh, now you're here with this? And then people will say you're resentful just to keep you in that state of, victim and martyr, because they've trained you to feel bad for feeling confident. and saying no and having boundaries. Like, no, I will not be treated like a doormat. No, I am not an option. No, I don't care about your I love yous. They're temporary. Just a shapeless cloud. What care have I of that? So have some self-respect, whoever you are out there. And recognize that when people treat you a certain way, it's because they treat you a certain way. It's not because of who you really are, because they have no idea. Even if they were Jean Grey and the Phoenix and they could, the epitome of empathy, they still wouldn't know. And then some of you are waiting for a God, and God knows what you're going through. But God's not going to pick you up and say, they're there, it's okay. No, God watches you. God lets you go through things. God will hurt you. But it's for a reason. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves. So we grow and we become more resilient and we just keep going and going and going because there has to be a reason, right? But in the meantime, will you please feel better? Please sing a song that's better through your heart for you. Do something that's better for people around you. Not because you're waiting for them to do the right thing, but because you're doing the right thing. Screw them. Who cares? Just do something nice for them anyway. Even if they're ungrateful, even if they're calling you resentful, even if they're making fun of you, just be nice to them. You're not like them, and they're not like you. I learned this the hard way. Don't learn it the hard way like I learned it. Really empathize with what I'm saying and imagine it. Learn the lesson so you don't have to go through it physically. Because you're going to be taught these lessons anyway. They're a part of growing up. People can't be trusted the way that you can be trusted. People aren't going to do the right thing when you think they're going to do the right thing. Yes, there are good people in the world, but some of us have not met them yet, and it's been decades. So this is for those people. Stop waiting for people to treat you better. Treat yourself better first, because they've stuck you in an energetic attraction loop of not receiving what you need. And the only person that can get you out of it is you, and your emotions are the key. Ignore the negative thoughts about people. Ignore their trigger attempts. Just laugh it off. And then when you get memories or flashbacks, or those of you who have PTSD who get those, whatever they are, force yourself to reminisce and re-experience it in a different way. Change the genre, change the rose-colored glasses you're looking at it through. Change it. How you feel about it. Because it keeps coming up and it's like God's bringing it to you and saying, hey, do you still have hatred for this thing? Do you still have sadness for that thing? Do you still have love for this thing? And every time you're like, yep. This time just say nope, neutral, next. Because you deserve better. And those of you that know what I'm talking about, has anybody given a fuck about how you feel in the last decade? I mean, really given a fuck about how you feel? Anybody? No, right? Like, people fake it, they pretend it, they give you the customer service personality, but nobody really gives a fuck about another person. And those that do, they're not busy listening to videos like this. So those of you listening to this, stop waiting for these incubi and succubi and these entities and these beings designed to remind you that you deserve better, to make you feel like you don't deserve better. It's so silly. Like, I didn't even want to make this video today, but it was something I've been thinking about. Like, when, with all the stuff I've been going through and how much of it lately hasn't been bothering me at all. And I was having it, just meditating this morning, like having a self conversation, an inner dialogue. And I thought, oh, it's because I stopped expecting this from people. Like, I wonder when that happened. Because it's been months, like months, that I haven't even bothered, like, being sad about anything or anyone. There was even a thing, like one of those movie scenes. I was moving books, and one of them, a bunch of things from Lake Geneva fell out, and something that the ex I was with had cut out in the book, a print of his hand, and a note attached to it. You know, no matter how far apart we are, we will never be truly apart. You have my hand to hold, or some shit like that. And I just looked at it and I thought, oh, that was cute. And I put the book away. But I know it's something that the older me, the other me, the past me, would have probably like broken down over, cried, yada, blah, blah. But really, that person, those expectations, that city I was in, that reality, it doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't exist. So even if I find a time travel device, even if I, bend time and space to my will, what's the fucking point? Choices were made that changed who we are. What's the point? So realizing this, I had to really grasp that I'm feeling a certain way about this topic. And if I just change how I feel about it, then how I think about it is going to change too. So I didn't even bother trying to change how I think or remember it anymore. I just started changing how I feel about it. Back to neutral. It's irrelevant. Like, release yourself from the burden of being forced or obligated to feel a certain way about certain people because they carry a title, or they did something, or you had an experience with them. They were actors. They were designed to do that. It was all part of a script. Let it be. I know. Remember, I told you in the beginning, it feels like you're betraying yourself, right? I went through that too. It's okay. You'll get over it. And I know how I sound, very cold, very, jaded in a way. But it looks that way to you because your perception is skewed. Because you're not a neutral. You're in the crying baby stage or in the angry adult stage. You're not in the mature, intelligent, aspect of wisdom stage yet. Some of you are. And you're like, yep, you don't bother with it. You let it go. Let it go. So just let it the fuck go. Whatever you're expecting people to do or not do, let it go. It doesn't matter. The people you think they are don't exist just as much as the person they think you are doesn't exist. So stop expecting things from each other when the other has no idea that they're a specific other being expected a specific thing based on the specific other that they are expected and perceived to be. If you expect me to be a fucking mime and I'm sitting here making monologue videos for you, it doesn't really work out that way, is it? Does it? I'll perpetually disappoint you because I'm not miming. If you expected me to be a doctor and I end up being a musician in a in a mariachi band, like, you're gonna be really disappointed in me, aren't you? But here I am, shaking my maracas, dancing into the tambourine. And what are you doing? Saying, oh, he should have been a he, and he should have been a doctor. But nope. Sorry to disappoint. Like, don't let people pigeonhole you, okay? I'm gonna go because I don't know how else to drill this into your mind and your soul. Like, stop making people have dominion over your emotional and mental state. That is what a government is, governing the mind. And if you're not doing it to yourself, others are doing it to you. And that replays in your physical world as a really screwed up system. So start being responsible for how you feel and how you think and how you act. And stop caring about what they're doing. They're busy making up rumors about you that couldn't be true if you even fucking tried. Let them. Who cares? Isn't there something else to do? Isn't there a video game to play? Isn't there a plant to grow? Isn't there some forest to explore? Isn't there something to bake, create, eat, feel? Isn't there some nap to take somewhere? Can't you go for a drive and get a cup of coffee and just blast some music? Can't you do anything else other than expect your ex-boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your children or your dog or your boss to act better? Or for the world to suddenly be #woke? Or for aliens to show up? Like, how much time has the human species wasted on books that were written before they were even alive? When they could be just hanging out, having a barbecue in the backyard, an entire, city block at a time. But no, you guys are busy talking about what celebrities are doing. And then others of you are busy watching people play video games. For no reason other than because you feel lonely, and so does the person in the building next to you, but you don't even go take a cup of cupcakes to them. Because you're afraid. Because you assume them to be something that they're not. Just like they assume you to be something that you're not. Do you see how this loops? This thread in the tapestry, this knot? It all ties back into, do you feel neutral? Or do you have a negative or positive charge regarding the triggers you have and the people in your life? Look at it really blankly, really black and white, really good and evil, really one and two, really binary. Look at it really 3D. Are you really doing what you would really be doing? Or are you feeling and doing something that has been purposefully put on you to feel and do, like a cookie cutter mold shaping a piece of dough? Is it really your shape, your energy, your mood, your creation? Or was this influenced through you? Your behavior, your thoughts, what you feel and think about people. Is it really about who they are? Or is it about what you thought they were, and then how they disappointed you when they showed you who they really are? Have a really deep talk with yourself. I hope that this video helps. You can replay it and ask yourself, from different points of view, from different emotional aspects. Be like an actor. Play every role in this video. Bounce around, empathize, train your DNA and empathy skills, train your perception skills. Be different aspects of who you are and see how you would respond to each of these things I brought up in this video as each different archetype within you. Because I can guarantee you there is some part of you that really believes that if you suffer, you're going to be treated better. And it's not true. People just leave you alone, kind of, when they see you suffering. Or at least they do to some of us. So get out of the loop, okay? Take care of yourself. And remember, even if you have to write it down somewhere. Go back to neutral.